All right, we are back with our second show tonight. Thank you guys for coming back and joining us once again. We are back for Socially Mobile with Jared Wade. Good evening, Jared.
What's going on, John? I'm messing. I totally just asked you a question and I'm talking right over your answer. So I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to let you finish what you were getting ready to say. How are you,
I
John?
am great. I am wonderful. It's been a long day. It's that time of the year when we're putting all this. We were just kind of starting to talk a little bit. We're putting all this work into getting things kind of finished up here as you get into the mid to late spring, so that way when we get into summertime, we don't have to be recreating the wheel time and time and time again. So it's a busy time, but it's kind of a time of excitement because you have nice weather. The kids get outside, and we're not 4 feet deep in snow. Yay!
Here in Indiana, I'm finally getting to go outside with the kiddos. Our son Oliver, he just turned 7. Last Friday he turned 7, and he had a Mario Brothers birthday party. That was his thing that he wanted. He wanted Mario Brothers. So we took the projector. One of the perks about being a DJ, especially a mobile DJ, is we have a plethora of everything electronic that's imaginable. So took a projector over. They were able to hook up the Wii to the projector and big giant, I don't know how many inch screen or whatnot. And they played Mario Kart with his cousins and whatnot. And
Awesome.
it was a good time, and he had a lot of fun. And they just released the app Mario Run, which has been on the iOS platform for many, many months.
Mm-hmm.
They just released it on Android like 3 days prior to his birthday. So we downloaded that, and he's been going nuts with Mario. And as an old school Mario fan, I am totally okay with this. So he and I and my wife, she's going to kill me for saying this, I think we spent a solid hour and a half one night just laying in bed, me on my tablet, her on her phone, and then our son, his big birthday present was a tablet of his own, just playing Mario Run over and over, and we were trying to beat each other's scores. And
Neat.
technology bringing families closer together every day.
There you go. That's what you like to see.
So tonight I'm going to be talking about a few different things. Not last week, but the week before last, I talked about a service called Trello, and I'm going to be very honest, I didn't have as good of a knowledge of what the service was to really give everybody an in-depth version and review of what the services are. So after the show, John and I were chit-chatting a little bit, and I was like, man, this could really be a solid like CRM. This could be a great way to have your client resource management center all in a local mobily fluid atmosphere. And I told John, I was like, I think I'm going to spend the next week or so setting this up. And I spent a solid 48 hours going through and really digging deep into what this can do. And I'm on the fence still. So I'm going to kind of give you my ultimate end thought process at the beginning of the show, which is I think it could work. And I think it can work really, really well. But on the flip side, you really have to be on top of it in order for it to work the way that you want it to work. So now that I've had more time to explore with it, I've had more time to test different things out, see what I like, see what I don't like, and everything in between. I figured, hey, let's revisit it since it's still fresh in everybody's mind. I can hopefully answer questions better than I was able to last time, and then ultimately tell you reasons why you should and reasons why you probably should not use it as a CRM or use it with clients one-on-one. And then I might give you, this is secret stuff, but I might give you a peek into what I'm doing. Because right now I use DJEP. I use DJ Event Planner for really everything, all of my contracts, my music management, for music requests, for my planning tools, all of that good stuff. And the every time that I wrap up with an event, mainly a wedding, I always ask them, you want that review of how was I professionally, how was my interaction with you, with your guests, how did what have you heard back about that
form, yeah.
Exactly. But I also write and ask them for their thoughts and their opinions on the planning process. So how did you like the website? How did you, were you able to navigate things fluidly? Did you like doing things on your phone versus on a laptop, or on a tablet versus on a desktop, or whatever else? So I've taken all of that information into account, and I've kind of come up with an idea that, is it going to work perfect for everybody? By no means. Is it going to be a great solution for me and for a large percentile of the people that I work with, which, I mean, for all intents and purposes, a majority of my brides and my grooms are between the ages of 26 to 37, 38, somewhere in that realm. So they're not fresh out of high school, but they have no idea how to use the internet. So
yeah.
Anyway, I guess we'll just jump right into this.
Yeah, let's get going.
And if you got questions, throw them out there, and John will harshly interrupt me by saying banana split,
Splitting up bananas.
And he will get me to stop talking.
We have our code word for tonight.
All right. And they can't see our pictures, right? Is that correct?
Actually, we can see. There's two ways, and they can see.
All right, but they can't see.
Now they can. They can still see. If you hide it, I've got it in a corner, or we can have it where it's not. We're not in there. So, I've got us in there. So, and we're a little bit larger than when you have it on. When you had it on the side there. So.
Oh, okay.
But we're in the upper. We're in the upper right corner of your screen. So.
Oh,
right
over here.
Yeah, right there. That's where we are. So. And we can see that menu, but that menu, if little to the right of that, is covered up by us.
Oh, okay. Is there a way to minimize this?
Minimize which part?
This.
I don't
know. Can you see that?
I can see when you just pop that up. Yeah.
Okay, I'll move it over there. There we go. Now I should just.
No, it's gone now. I don't see it.
My desktop.
We see your desktop. Yep. I see.
Okay, that's good.
Yep, it looks like a window, a browser window.
Perfect. That's all. That's what I'm using right now. Yep. So we can jump into the tablet version a little bit later. But if you watch the episode 2 weeks ago, you'll see that this is all the same exact thing. So, all right. So here's my thing after using it for quite a bit more time. If you don't use any type of a communication tool outside of email, like if you don't have any other source, if you don't use DJAP, if you don't use DJ Intelligence, if you don't use any other CRM for direct communication back and forth, this could conceivably work really, really well. And here's why. I made a template down here called Wedding Template. And when you open this up, you'll see that I've already kind of created all kinds of different cards that are through here.
Yep.
The cool thing about this, and you'll be able to tell, it kind of stinks because I spent so much time building this, and then I got done with it, and I'm like, I don't like it. I literally put the finishing touches on this, and then I just kind of sat back and took a drink of water, and I was like, no, this really isn't going to work the way that I was hoping it would work.
The number of times that has happened with website things, you're developing, spend money to buy this plugin, and you're going to do this, and it's like, no.
Yep. No, and I'll tell you why. As I'm explaining this, I'll explain to you. There's a lot of pros. There's a lot of pros, but unfortunately, some of the cons for me just outweighed it. Now, and as I explain, as we get further and further along, as I explain what the cons are, they're pretty uniquely exclusive. That's not a real word.
Not so
exclusive, but I used it, and it's on the internet, which means it's a legit word now.
It is.
Exclusive.
And you sound extra smart because you're putting exclusive and all that together.
Yeah. I'm using it. I'm going to see if we can get somebody at Midwest DJs Live to use that in a presentation just to see if anybody catches it.
We're going to be live from the show and that's for another post another day, but we're going to use exclusive.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to use it on the show. It's going to be awesome.
Hashtag exclusive.
Yep.
It's going to be spelled so many different ways. Okay. So here's the thing here's some stuff that I really, really enjoyed. So I went into this thinking, okay, there's got to be a way that I can put all of my planning guides. Brides are very visual. They like seeing things being completed. And that was something that jumped out at me about Trello. As an example, like reception guide right here.
Yep.
If I click on that, what I did was I just put a brief description of what the thing was. The most robust of all the planning guides is the reception guide. This guide will go over, just about everything, blah, 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 blah. And then you can form an attachment. You can put an attachment that goes directly to something. Now, for me, I created, since I live on Google, and if you know me, you know I love Google.
Yep.
I created Excel. They call it Sheets, but it's an Excel sheet that has all of the information that I normally use in DJEP. The big thing that I don't like about DJEP is if you ever want to change the layout of a form that's being used, you can't just overwrite the form that's already being used. You have to create a different one and then assign it and then try to copy all the information over. And if anybody knows a way to get around that, please let me know. But if I'm one of those guys that likes to modify and likes to update my planning forms and likes to update basically everything that I have for my brides and for my grooms and for clients in general. So what you can do in Google Drive and Google Docs specifically, or Google Sheets, is you can create your form, and then if you've got the business grade version, you can release that specific document out to the World Wide Web and say anybody that has this specific link can have access to it. They don't even have to have a Gmail account. They can come in as long as they have the link and they can modify it. So my first thought process was, okay, how do I get this form into their hands as easily as possible? Well, with Trello, I can create a card. I can put this attachment that has the link for this planning form. And then when they open it up, they can click it and then they can work on it when they want to. The other thing about doing it through Google versus DJEP, and by no means is this a slam on DJEP. DJEP is a wonderful service that does a lot of amazing stuff. There's just a few things that have been told to me from my clients that they don't like, and I can't do anything about it on my end. One of those things is automatic saving of forms.
Yeah.
So, and I know that that's something that they've been working on, and they're trying to update it, and eventually they probably will. But for right now, you still have to click on that save on a form. So, I know that brides are visual, so I put some checklists here. So when they get things done, when they get the logistics section of the reception guide, they can click it, and then boom, look at that, you're 17% done with the entire reception. Or we left some special notes. Boom, now you're 33% done. Closer and closer and closer as you go along through the planning process. So it's that visual of getting things done as need be. Yeah. You can put a due date on there. So if you want to say, hey, this reception stuff needs to be done no later than 2 weeks prior to the wedding, and you go through there and you find it, you're good, you're solid. You can say it, you can put it on there, and you're done. The big thing that I liked, which is the second big thing really, is the comment field attached to each card.
Yep.
And I don't know about everybody else in the world, but for some bizarre reason, I get a lot of clients that don't save emails. And I don't understand why they don't save emails. So they will ask me the same question 4 or 5 times. And I'm like, I've sent this to you 4 or 5 times. So I thought that as a CRM, having a field where they could write something like, hey, do you happen to have good ideas for first dance songs? And then I could comment and we can have this conversation back and forth right here in this reception guide form, on this card, would be phenomenal. You could add specific members. So you could search for people like, this is my account and this is my wife and I shared Gmail account that I put on there. And then you could just add whoever you wanted to. If you wanted to add a planner, if you wanted to add whoever you wanted to, you could go through there. So, as you can see here, I spent quite a bit of time doing all kinds of fun stuff, even going down and creating labels for monogram and general information for bridal party folks and everything in between. I started to build an FAQ even. Here are some helpful links for music selections and everything else in between. And then when they completed something, let's say they completed the ceremony guide, you could move it over to completed, and then it's one less thing that they have to do. family photos, contact information. Once it's completed, they know, hey, this is all I have left to do. Here's comes my issue with where it gets a hang up for me is 2017, this year, I started doing something different, which was getting pictures of all of the major people in the bridal party or people that are going to be involved at a specific event. So a picture of the bride and groom together, a picture of all the bridesmaids, a picture of all the groomsmen, a good headshot, basically.
Okay.
And I thought, oh, this would be great because you could actually upload files. You could, find it, throw it from your computer, and it'll, I'll have all of them right there, and then you're good to go. In theory, that would work really well, but the organizational process of that would just drive me absolutely bonkers because it would be all over the place. It would just be too full and too much information. So in turn, it was like, oh yeah, this is going to work out really great. But then, this isn't going to work out the way that I was hoping it was going to work out because there's so many other things going on. I showed this to my wife, and I showed this to a few of my current clients, people that their wedding or their special event has not come up yet. I talked with them, and I asked them what they thought about it. And the unanimous thought process was, one, we love the idea of being able to have everything in one area, but, and it's a huge but, the second thing is we don't want to sign up for something else. And 3, we don't want to download something else to our phones, even if it's something simple. Like this is a process that would be easily done without having to do anything else. So taking all of that into consideration, I took a step back and then I kind of reevaluated it from, and this is, we're going to get transparent here. I'm going to get honest with you, everybody. I have a bad tendency of trying to get something to work for the benefit of me. And when you're in a service-based industry like DJ, whether it's a special event or it's a wedding industry, you kind of have to put yourself way on the back burner and say, okay, this might be really good for me, but is this going to leave a positive imprint on my client who could conceivably refer me to somebody down the road? And from the people that I spoke with, the cons outweighed the pros for having a client interaction. So I did send out a few to some people that were interested in logging in. And again, if you don't use something, if you don't currently use DJEP or you don't use another CRM in order to stay in communication, is this a viable solution? Yes. So I'm just going to lay that out there right now. Is this a solution? If you're looking for simple communication back and forth and your client is willing to sign up for a Trello account, which takes all of 15 seconds because you just put your name and your email address and then that's it. Boom, you're done and you're good. Is it a viable option? If you don't have anything else in place, yes. You don't want to make your clients jump through more hoops than they have to.
Right.
So if you do, there's all kinds of fun stuff that you can do. Let me see if I can show you one here. Like Lauren and Ben, I really liked the idea of having a big photo like that. That's Lauren and Ben. I know that when I open this up, that's going to be them. I'm a visual guy, so I like being able to see that.
Yes.
I like being able to see them. And having that functionality, I really enjoyed. Lauren and Ben did not. They weren't one of the couples that signed up for how everything processed and how it went through. But let me go back into test here real quick. How that process works is when you there's actually 3 different levels to Trello. There's a free level, there's a gold level, and then there's like their business level. And the differences are the power-ups, and the power-ups are the things that really make it stand out. If you can see up here, you'll see that there's a Google Drive and then a Hangout button.
Okay.
This was something that I really enjoyed, and I thought it would work out really, really well. For a lot of my video conferencing, I use Google Hangout, specifically because you don't have to have an account. You can just share a URL, and then if the person doesn't have like a Skype account or they don't have an iOS device, it doesn't matter. They can jump straight into the Hangout and have a video conference. So one of the power ups is you can just put an automatic Hangout button right there. So whenever somebody needs to talk to you, they can just log in and then click that Hangout, and then you've got a consistent. Basically, it's a consistent direct URL that's always in place. So if I have a meeting with Jim and Jane at 8 o'clock, instead of trying to send links back and forth, they know, oh, we just get into our Trello account. They can click Hangout, and then you're done. Cool, done. Yeah. Google Drive, same concept. They have access to my Google Drive account, which I'm going to get into here in just a second. But if you're looking for a good way to stay on top of it, this is a good option. The catch, though, and this is a huge catch for certain people, is nothing is automated. So you have to manually set up all these cards over and over again. Hence why I made one that called Wedding Template. Because what I can do is you can go in here and then you can, where is it at? There it is, copy board. And then you can put it any specific place. So like if I had this wedding board, and then let's say that Jim and Jane are going to get married, and I'm going to put them on my friends team or whatnot. As I create this, and it's copying and it's working, you will see right there's Jim and Jane. And then however my template was last laid out is going to roll over the same exact way. So as long as you don't touch your template, you can just copy and paste, or you can copy the board over and over and over and over and over again, and it'll just expand and you'll be able to reuse it. So that's an automation process for you. The good part about that is you don't have to worry about forgetting anything. You don't have to worry about not being able to remember to put something in there, because you've got all of it ready to go and it's in place, and it's very fluid design. So on the flip side of me personally not using this as a CRM, I am in the process of starting to use it on a internal processing base. So instead of really getting the clients to use it, I'm just going to start building templates like this wedding template, but instead of it being super detailed for the client's perspective, I'm going to be building it for my perspective, and for me to be able to figure out, okay, I've got Jim and Jane. Here are the things that they're going to be using. Do I want to set it up so that way I have all of my events taken care of the way that they need to, and still using the due dates and everything in between. If you have their free account, you can use one power up at a time, and that's board based. If you go with the gold, you can have 3 power-ups, or if you go business, it is unlimited power-ups. Right now, I'm using the gold version, and once I don't think I'm going to stay with gold, I'll probably go back to the free version, because the only power-up that really is useful to me is the calendar. Where it is? There it is, right here. And the calendar basically gives you a URL for your Apple Calendar, or for your Google Calendar or Outlook or whatever you use that you can plug in. Very similar to what you get from DJEP, that just shows you, hey, here's the details of things that are due or whatnot. I live on my Google Calendar. If it's not in my Google Calendar, if my wife doesn't put down that we're supposed to be doing something tomorrow, I will have no idea that we're supposed to do something tomorrow. And I think a lot of business owners are like that. We're just busy. We have stuff going through our brain. So I really enjoyed that power up, and I tried it for a while, and it worked really well. And I will probably continue to use it if I continue to use Trello for that. So Anyway, that's my additional 2 cents on Trello. I spent more time with it. I got really excited about it. I mean, I was really, really stoked about it until I figured out that, on the client's perspective, it's not going to be as easy as I was hoping it was going to be, because it is one thing that they have to sign up for, another thing that they have to download, and something that they have to learn to use. Those are the
Right.
3 factors that kind of trumped all of the pros of, because my brain was working in the fashion of, there could be a board for entertainment, and there could be a board for photography, and there could be a board for videography, and a board for catering, and they could have all of their wedding planning all right here. And I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. I know exactly how to use this, and everybody else is going to know how to use this. And then people were like, hey, you need to shut up, because you don't know that we don't all know how to do all of that. And it was good. I mean, I needed that swift kick to the throat in order to say,
maybe not.
You are probably right. So, I'll show you kind of what I'm working on right now. It's not completed by any means, but before I go, was there any questions, or people just basically making fun of me saying,
they're just hanging out,
Okay, cool.
Watching, yeah,
all right. At least I have a better hair day today. You can't see it, but I'm not.
Oh no, actually we can see it in the little corner there. Yeah.
Oh, you can? Okay, cool.
Yeah, so.
All right, sweet. So you can
appreciate.
There's not a full Jimmy Neutron, but there's a very close one going on. Okay, so we're not going to dive into all of Google Drive, but based off of the information that I heard from my past clients, my current clients, from my family, i.e. my wife, and then through some close personal friends, some in the industry, some not in the industry, I'm going to be migrating a lot of my planning documents to Google Drive. And the primary reason for that is I can do everything that I want to do and keep it organized the way that I want to keep it organized, and not force anybody to have to sign up for anything or do any extra steps outside of clicking a link and then using something like Excel or Google Sheets that they've all used multiple times. So there's nothing new for them to learn, nothing that they have to sign up for, and no logins that they have to remember. So what I've done is, and I apologize, my dry folder is kind of all over the place right now, but I've got a template client folder, this top one that you'll see.
Yep.
And within that template folder is where my documents are going to be put into. I'm not going to show you all the templates right now, but basically what I'm going to do is I'll have this main folder, and then with any of these folders, you can always, I'm sorry, not the folder, but with the individual forms, you can make a copy.
Yep.
Right there it is. Make a copy. So I thought you could make a copy of a folder. I guess you cannot make a copy of a full folder. I'll have to take a look into that. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy these templates and put them into a folder, and then share that folder with anybody that has the link. Now, in doing so, it's going to pull up into, if you don't know what Chrome incognito mode is, that's what this folder is right here is, or this tab is incognito. So that means it's not logged into anything. So everything that I do on here, like if I just go to google.com, it's not going to be logged in anywhere. If I go to Facebook, that's incognito. It won't be logged in to anything that you have saved.
Yep.
That's the whole point of incognito. So that link that I gave you, or that I'm going to give them, and it's going to be in one email that's sent out to them and says, hey, when you're ready to start planning, click this link. It's going to take you right to it. They click that link. That's going to go right into this folder. And all of the documents that I need are going to be in here. Now, the cool part about this, and if you've never used Drive before, is when you start working on something like, here's a folder. This is my, I do a professional contact form for everybody that I'm working with. So what that means is the bride and groom need to provide me the business, the contact person, the phone number, and the email for their venue, for the photographer, videographer, blah, 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 blah. So depending on what services that they've got, this is set up so only the fields that are red, they have access to. They can't change anything else. They can't overwrite anything. So as you can see, there's a little pop-up says, hey, you can't do anything with that form or with that in that area. Okay, cool. So the business, ABC 123 Jackson 5 venue. And as soon as they fill it in and they put something there, that field turns green. So that field's been completed. So their contact person is Michael. Phone number is 317-395-3548. That's my business number, by the way. If you watch our Google Voice show, you'll know that that's what that is. And then Jared at youtube.com, whatever. So that's that's the visual that I wanted from Trello. So if you remember earlier back in our conversation, I was saying, hey, I really want something visual that shows, hey, you're completing stuff, you're getting things done. This is the visual that I was talking about. They might not have a videographer, so they're going to leave that blank, but they'll put their photographer information in there. The thing that I really, really enjoy about Google Drive is it shows. And I'll jump in here and there it is. I can work on this with them in real time. So if I have to have a video conference with them and I'm going to do a hangout because I've got one client, she lives in Germany, and figuring out when we can meet together is not the easiest thing in the world. But even in working in real time, you can see, right here, the field that she's highlighting is Anonymous Duck. It's the photographer. And then here it shows the field that I'm on. The cool thing about this is as we're chatting in our Google, kind of like what's going on right now where we're doing a video conference, I can walk through this with her and she can see when updates are being made. And she can make updates herself. She can type things in. She can, make modifications or whatever else without having to have any additional account. Some people hate Google. They don't want a Google account. That's totally fine. Everything that you're seeing right here and right here with me being able to fill out forms, if I can click correctly, there we go. I don't have to log in for that. None of this has to have a login. All they have to do is click the link and then open it up and then follow it just like any normal computer where there's folder files that they go to. They open it up, they fill it out, and then it saves automatically. That's the other thing that I wanted to have happen is I wanted it to save instantly. I've had too many occasions where people have said, I filled out the entire form, I accidentally closed it. Can I get it back? Nope. Sorry. It's gone. So this one feature of being able to keep it all in this area and saved instantly is gigantic. Now, on top of the forms, I can create a folder in here that right here. And let's just do a new folder called Bridal Party Photos. So that instantly, since it's already in a shared folder, you come back over here and I'm just going to click refresh. You're going to see that folder pop up. It should show up. There it is. All right. Bridal party photos. Then they can put all of their pictures right here.
Oh, nice.
It's not, a multi-process system where they have to, again, log in and do all kinds of other stuff. They can just drag their pictures over. They can throw them in there, label them, bridesmaid Denise, groomsman John, or whatever else. And then it's all right there. No login required. Nothing else that has to be done in order to get them to do exactly what I want them to do. In addition to the photos, you could make a folder for special music requests. You could make a special folder for monograms. You could make a special folder for really anything. And then as long as they have this link, as long as they can access that link and then log in right here, you're golden. Now, the best part about this is Google has some really great apps for your tablet and for your phone. So if I need to take a peek at something, if I am sitting in a client meeting or whatnot, I can pull out my tablet and work. You know what? I can just show you here in a second, but I can just work on it in real time with them on my tablet, and it'll save instantly in there.
Nice.
So I don't have to do anything else on top of it. So, I don't think you have to sign in. When I tried it before, I did not have to sign in. Now I'm like wanting to try to see if I should. Let's just do. I wonder if it's going to let me upload because I'm doing this video conference. Probably not. Okay. I'll let that sit then because that's interesting. When I uploaded it before, it went perfectly fine. So saying all of that, that's why I'm going to Drive, because it's hitting the three things that my past clients, current clients, and colleagues have all said that they would prefer to have. Something that they didn't have to log into, i.e. something that they don't have to remember a login for, a username and a password. Even if it's something as easy as your username is your email and then the password is 12345. It's still something else that they have to remember and log into. Something that is going to consolidate all of the information that I need. So if I want to share with them, hey, this is a Monogram logo, what do you think about this? Instead of emailing back and forth and waiting for a week for them to figure it out, I can just upload it and say, hey, check the folder, make sure that you're okay with that, and then we'll go from there. So instant access for or taking all of the information and putting it into one area, and then lastly, something that you can definitely use mobily, but also not have to worry about the not saving when you fill something out. So Google Drive is the way that I went. Trello is still a viable option. Again, I'm saying this over and over again. It's a viable option if you're not using anything else right now. If you're using something, that transition is probably going to be more work than it's actually worth, in my opinion. That's my opinion. So there you go. So there you go. Any more questions, thoughts, comments, concerns?
I think we are good. I like
okay,
that.
Sweet.
I like that. The only question I had is with the Google area there, is there a limit? So if you have a bride who's putting up videos and pictures, and I mean, all of a sudden she's put up, dozens of megabytes or hundreds of megabytes of data, is there any limit?
Well, there's definitely a limit. I'll show you on the business account, on the business side, I should say, if you have a business, if you don't have a business Google account, I don't understand you. I'm just going to throw that out there right now, because it's like $4 or $5 a month, and all of your stuff is branded specifically for your company and your organization. And on top of that, you get 24/7 Google support. So if you ever have Gmail issues, if you ever have Drive issues, you contact them instantly. And I've only had it a couple times, but if you have an issue, you reach out to them, you say, hey, call me. They call you instantly, and then you figure out what the heck is going on.
Nice.
It's really, really, really hard to see down here, but in the bottom left-hand corner, and it's almost on every single element. So like your Gmail will tell you, but I always just default to the Drive. But down here in the bottom left-hand corner, it tells you how many gigabytes you have, and then how many you've used. And it also explains how it's divided. So like I've got about 2 gigs worth of emails. I'm not using that much in my Google Photos. And then my Drive is the heavy one. It's got about 22 gigs in it right now. When you sign up for a business account, you get, I believe, 100 gigabytes a year included. So I'm a pretty heavy Google user, and you can see that I've used maybe 20% of my total amount. Videos are pretty simple because they can just upload them. They can upload the videos, and then when the event is done, you can just easily delete it.
Take them down, yeah.
You can delete them. You can get rid of them. depends on how big they are. Some clients, like I've made slideshows for people, I'll put it on there and then I'll tell them, hey, when you've downloaded this, let me know. It's just like Dropbox,
Yeah.
and I'm going to remove it so that way I can get my storage back. If I get to the point where I need more storage, you can always purchase more storage from Google, and it's not ridiculously expensive. I want to say it's like $100 a year for a terabyte. So Google's just got massive amounts of storage. That's what they do, is just they have servers and servers and servers and storage and terabytes and, just so much memory that if you get to that point that you have that much material, you should be charging enough that you can afford to say, hey, Google, I need another terabyte worth of storage. Here's another $100 that I can write off and use on my taxes. So just pay the extra amount and then you're good. But for $5 a month, that is automatically deducted. It's totally worth it to me to have everything cloud-based. So if I'm sitting here at the office, it's all laid out exactly as I want. If I'm sitting at home, it's all laid out exactly as I want. So if I get a phone call, if I'm on my phone and I'm on my tablet, it's laid out exactly the same way, and I don't have to worry about any of it.
Nice.
So to kind of go along with that, well, I'm not going to tell you about that yet. I'm going to do something different. So, hey, there's our video. So Facebook, actually, I wonder, John, do you think I should, show the mobile version of Drive before we move on?
I don't even know if I even have Drive on my mobile devices. Now that we think about it, I use it on my desktops to go back and forth.
Okay, so then that's what I'm going to do. I am going to jump over to the old tablet-orama.
There we go.
And show you guys. Let me see if I can find it real quick. You can just see. There's Mario, by the way. Right there. Mario Run. There you go.
If we do a video on Mario Run on YouTube, it would be huge. Just saying.
That's true. I would be really bad at it. I'll pull my son in for that recording. I'll be like, great. Oliver, you play your game, and we're just going to talk about it. We're going to give play-by-play action of what you're doing. All right. I think I've got my Google folder. There it is. So Drive. And there we go. It's laid out just like your desktop. So you have that folder that I had for the template is under my events folder, which is right here.
Yep.
Click on that, and then right up there is the template client folder. So you would duplicate the files that are in there, put them in the corresponding, and then all of your information going back and forth is going to show up right here. So here's the contact form. Click on that. It's going to open up in, this is all on my tablet, and I can go through. I can click on fields that I want to fill certain things out. Here's the catering. If I know that McDonald's is going to be catering, and then just like on the desktop, changes colors and it's done. And people just resonate better with things that they're familiar with, that they're used to. So granted, it might seem a little bit clunky on the sense of, you have to kind of scroll back and forth a little bit or whatever else. But in all honesty, when people see that bold and that italic and that underline and that strike through, and then being able to allocate left or center or right indent or whatnot, they just are like, this makes sense to me. Yeah. This grid format makes sense to me. I know exactly where I need to go. I know exactly what I need to do, which unfortunately with Trello, it isn't like that. There's going to be a learning curve that I didn't want to have happen. So, but all of that can be done on your tablet or on your phone. The phone version looks exactly the same, just a little bit smaller, and you're good to go. So, what was the other thing that I was going to show you? There was that, and then wasn't there something else that I was going to? Oh, so while we're here, we'll talk about Facebook.
Yeah, let's hit Facebook here, and then we got to wrap up.
Oh yeah. Okay. So Facebook, I want to go really quick. These last two things will be super duper fast. So Facebook has introduced their version of stories. And if you don't have it yet, don't worry. They're still rolling out that whole thing. It's not a quick process. I'm surprised that I actually got it, and I'm surprised as many people got it as they did. But it's based in your main Facebook app. That's where Stories is going to be happening at. If you have Messenger, and we talked about this before,
Yep.
if you have Messenger, they have their own version of Share Your Day. I wholeheartedly think Share Your Day is going to go away. I think that they're going to.
Yeah, I don't think it's been a dud from what I've seen.
Yep, it's not getting the interaction that I think that they were hoping for, and hence why they have now started putting it into the core Facebook app. Basically, you have two different options, and it's all about your camera. So if you do any research, Facebook is focusing on the camera more than anything else. So my story right here. Let's see here if it's going to flip my camera around. Hey, I'm upside down.
You are.
No, I'm not. Hey, and there we go. All right. So you have different filters just like in Snapchat. So if you swipe up, it's going to pull out all kinds of stuff. There's a minion one. If you open up your mouth, it's bananas. Blah. Yeah. Mr. Mustachio.
You're looking good.
Thank you. Taking a picture, and then of course you can edit it if you want to. If you want to, draw something up here, adding to my salt and pepper hair that my wife was looking at earlier today. She's like, "Man, you got a lot of gray hair." I'm like, "Hey, let's be nice, okay? Let's just be nice." That's all I have to say about that. Done. And I'll put that right on my forehead. The arrow applies it. You can choose where you want to send it. So if you're familiar with Snapchat, then you'll understand that your story, and then you have direct messages that can go everywhere. I am going to just do this to my story. So when I press that blue arrow, it's going to go onto my story. And the important thing to know about your story is whatever is on your story is going to disappear in 24 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So people, just like Snapchat, once it's there for 24 hours, it is gone. Now, the cool thing is they also put that little direct button up in the upper left-hand corner. You press that, and then you can send direct messages or videos or whatever else. Let's see here. Let's get a different one. There we go. Power Rangers. Who doesn't want to be the blue Power Ranger?
Yeah, I mean.
So there's all kinds of fun stuff. I'm going to press and hold. So I'm recording a video. And when I'm done recording this video, I can send it to somebody specific. I can put it on my story. So when this is done, I'm going to click continue. And then, John, I'm just going to send that to you. So instead of that going to my story where everybody can see it, it's going to go directly to John and only to John.
Okay.
And then, as you can see, my wife, I sent her a message. It tells when your video was seen. It tells, and then it'll disappear after it's been viewed twice, just like Snapchat.
Just like that.
Yep. So you can open it, John, and take a look at it, and you'll be like, "Oh, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I'm gonna look at that one more time." Open it up again, and then that is it.
So
it is gone.
I'm looking on my browser. I just wanted to confirm that I see nothing on the browser that says anything.
Yep.
So now I'm gonna open up the app on my phone.
Yep. It is not on the browser at all.
And it just said that Jared sent me something. Okay. Now where would I find that?
Now it should be at the very top of your main.
Okay.
Your main app.
There, okay.
That's where they should be coming back and forth through.
So for those of you who are where are we at? Here we go. It has a little, in the upper corner there, it has the direct, and it has a little one by it, so I can click on that. And Jared Wade sent a video to you just now, and I can click on that. And we're seeing the same video that he was just doing a few seconds ago.
Gosh, he looks so good.
Two of them, both of them look good.
Yeah.
And when I'm done
We should
recording
do.
this video, I can send it to somebody specific. I can put it on my
Let's just,
press and hold. So I'm
okay.
recording a video.
So now it's looping.
And when I'm done recording
Yep.
this video,
So
I can
when
send it to
you
somebody
exit
specific.
back,
I can put it on
Okay, I'm going to exit out.
I think you can view it one more time, and then that is it.
That's what I was trying to do. I'm going to try to do that here.
when I'm done recording this video,
Ironically,
I can send it to somebody
interesting.
specific. I can
The
put it
audio
on
doesn't start up. I have to
press
hit.
and hold. So I'm recording a video. And when I'm done recording this this video, I can send it to somebody specific. I can put it on my.
So that's Facebook stories.
Recording a video.
Okay.
And when I'm done
Stop.
recording.
Got somebody messaging me on Facebook also, so it's like I can't click everywhere yet.
You have to. You must click everywhere at the same time.
Okay, so there was the two times of looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Can't see it anymore, can you?
Nothing new yet.
Nothing new. So there you go. It's disposable. Yeah, disposable back and forth. They're very blunt by saying it's a direct emulation of Snapchat. That's literally what they did. They said, hey, this is working for Snapchat. Let's do the same exact thing. And that's what you have now. Now, the one thing that Snapchat has over Facebook, and I don't foresee this being a big thing for a lot of people, is you can purchase and you can create Snapchat filters on your own and then pay X amount of dollars. So if you're doing a special event or whatever else, you can create a Snapchat filter, which is just an overlay. And whenever people are on Snapchat and they have their location turned on, they can see your filter or your overlay and then apply that to their picture. So it's a great branding opportunity. I foresee Facebook doing that very, very soon. The other thing that I'm noticing is a lot of people are very hesitant to use Facebook stories, but the people that are hesitant to use Facebook stories didn't use Snapchat. This is the most literal apples to apples that has come out between social media sites in a long time.
Right.
It's exactly the same thing. It's just for people that don't use Snapchat. Like me, I don't use Snapchat. I don't want to use Snapchat. It's not something that I gravitate towards. I use Facebook very heavily. It's a big business thing for me. So this is a way for me to use that if I want to. I like the disposable videos. I think that is a very cool element and a very cool thing, especially with a lot of conferences coming up.
And that's what, Jared, that's what people are asking is the useful tool. Why do you like that disposable video? Because from my standpoint, I'm thinking, if I create a video, I want people to see it.
If you create video that you want people to see, that's one thing. But if you create something dumb that you just want to send somebody for the heck of just sending it, then that's totally different. So as an example, I could see if you're at a convention and you want to send something real quick to Midwest DJs Live. Okay, let's take that as an example. Mm-hmm. Let's say that we're getting ready to go live. We're going to do something special in some special location or whatnot. And there's 20 buddies of yours that are there at Midwest DJs Live, and you want to tell them, hey, I'm heading over there to do something. You could jump on there real quick and say, hey, I'm on my way over to such and such place. I'm going to be there for a while. Come on over if you want to hang with me. And then you select the people that you want to send it to and then send it and then just be on your way. Because there's no point in keeping that video. There's no point in keeping something like that for the long term. This is just simple stuff that goes on in your life for no reason whatsoever. My buddy Brian introduced me to an app called Marco Polo, which is just basically video. It's a video walkie-talkie that you chat back and forth on, and it's good in development. The only thing that I don't like about it is it saves all of the videos. It saves everything that you're going to send back and forth. With this, I could easily just send him a message and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is what's happening. Can you call me when you get a chance? Can you do this? Can you do that? Look at this dumb thing that I just did or whatever else, and then be done with it. The disposability, which is another fake word that we're going to use from now on, is super high right now, especially with millennials. It's not something, they don't want everything out there all the time. They just want to be able to get what they want out there, and then when they're done with it, they're done with it.
It's such a different thought process from what we've been doing online. You know, we create things because we want it to be either pseudo evergreen or we want it to be something that people will maybe refer back to at a point in time. And it's just trying to a point, wrap my head around that of, okay. And when you mentioned sending goofy things, I could definitely see that. I mean, yay, DJ convention drunk videos. They're going to be all over the place. And you don't want, there's no need to keep that stuff. I mean, but I could see it's going to be there.
It's kind of funny because it's making a full 360 circle where when people started sending videos, people were complaining in retrospect saying, well, what about the ability and what about the time when something would happen and it would just be a memory and then that would be it? Well, now we're getting back to that point where we're going to send a video. You're going to be able to watch it twice and then it's going to be gone. It's no longer, it's not, it's kind of meeting in the middle of the people that are saying, why do you have to video record everything? And then the people that are saying, why aren't you video recording everything? Okay, well, I'll video record it. I'll send it to somebody that I know is going to enjoy it. And then I'm going to be done with it, especially if it's not something that is long-term for me.
Yeah.
You know, great pictures or videos with my kids playing and, you know, loving on each other. That's stuff that I want to keep.
Yeah.
You know, a giant pile of dog do that looks like a perfect Dairy Queen cone. Is that something that I want to keep forever?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Sure.
But
Dairy Queen cone, come on now.
But okay, it's true. Now, if it was in a cone, that would be very impressive, and I would keep that. But if it was, and I just want to take a picture of it and send it to somebody, and don't forget with your stories, if you want to keep it, there is an option that you can download it.
Oh,
you can
okay.
save it, and then you can be done. You can and then do whatever you want to with it. So if you do want to save all of those, you can save all of them. But it's giving you, it's persuading, not persuading, but it's directing you more in the option of, you know, just throw it out there and be done with it, and then that's it. It's more of a behind the scenes type of a thing.
Robin made a good point. Great tool for shopping, and I know that would be something that Lori and I have had. Where how does this look? And you could shoot that little video, send it, direct thing. They look at it, and then they don't have it clogging up their message inbox on the text messaging. Yeah. Now
Exactly.
Now we're getting some useful benefits from it.
You just think outside the box a little bit, and you're gold. You're solid. So yeah, that's the big Facebook update. I wonder, should we save and wait for the Google Calendar hack?
Yeah. Let's do that on a future segment here, because we're up.
Sorry guys, it's a really cool hack, and I wanted to share it with you. Next time though.
We will definitely get that. Just going through and showing a couple of the Google that the documents and such, and sharing that Google Drive area. Cool stuff. You're using. I'm using it very. When we've shared a couple of things, like when we did the scheduling for the mini sessions, and we had sent that link out to everyone, and they were all in there typing at the same time, and you could see 7 people, I think, is what we had typing at the same time on one document. It's cool functionality that we have nowadays.
Yep, that Google Drive is probably going to be like a 2-week show for me, because there's so much that you can do. It might be a 3-weeker, I don't know. But there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah, great stuff. Wonderful. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching and being with us tonight. If you have any questions, you can reach out to Jared. I don't think I have links in the description tonight. You can find him online. Find him on Facebook. That's generally where you guys go anyway.
You can check my MySpace, my Friendster. You can check me out.
What?
Hit me up on AIM.
Man, all the hot
sad.
places. All the hot places. You guys have yourself a great evening. Jared, thank you very much. Good night, everyone.